Welcome back, everyone. It's Eric from Rare Candy. Welcome back to another entry into our testing ground series where we take a look at some kind of early, unrefined rough deck ideas and try them out and see what might have some potential for competitive play. So, of course, we are continuing here our Unbroken Bonds coverage, and in this video we have two different decks. We have Buzzwole Pheromosa GX, which I'm going to be playing over there on the left, and then we have Haley Brokaw, who is a local player from my area. She was nice enough to help me record this video. She's going to be playing the new Vikavolt. So pretty interesting matchup we have here. I actually really enjoyed this series quite a bit. Both decks pretty interesting. Buzzwole Pheromosa has a Jet Punch, so it's actually pretty good at picking off some of these low HP basics that the Vikavolt deck plays. But on the other hand, Vikavolt actually can take one-hit knockouts on tag teams, which is really bad for Buzzwole Pheromosa because it's reliant on max potions and Acerolas. So both decks kind of have outs to one another, so I felt like this would be a pretty good matchup to show off. So it looks like Haley is getting to go first, and she has that atrocious Dedenne GX start. That's like the absolute worst Pokemon she could have started in this list. So here, she does have the turn 1 Lily. She has an Ultra Ball, so it looks like she's debating what she wants to get rid of. Gonna get rid of a Lightning Energy. I do like that. She can always get that back later with the Tapu Koko Prism Star. Here she's gonna toss the Lightning and the Vikavolt. So you're probably just gonna get a Charjabug. I'm sorry, a Grubbin, my bad. So here, just taking a quick peek through the deck, seeing what all she's gonna have access to throughout this game. So just check and see what is going to be in her prizes. And then from there, she does have this Lily, like I mentioned, so she is going to have a decent little first turn on her hands here. She'll definitely want to find herself at least one more Grubbin. That would be ideal. But other than that, can't really ask for too much more. Maybe she can find like a Jirachi. That would also be good to maybe retreat into at some point this turn. So here, it looks like she's debating. Does she want to get down the escape board? And she is going to put down the Dedenne. That will give it one less retreat. I know she probably wanted to save that for Jirachi, but you know what? It'll get the Dedenne out of the active and also net her some extra cards here. So unfortunately, her hand doesn't look too great beyond that. I don't see a Nest Ball or any other basics. So she might just have to pass after that because I don't see any energy either. Okay, so she's going to pass it over to my turn. And here I do have Green Search in hand. Could go for that. Looks like I have Alicia, I think. But here I'm going to Net Ball really quickly. So let's see what I'm going to get. Just another Buzzwole Pheromosa. And yeah, I do see, I'm pretty sure that's Alicia in my hand. I can't tell. But it looks like I might be eyeing down. I guess here I'm just going to check what's in my deck before I commit to a certain supporter. That seems okay then. So I am just going to go for Green Search. And honestly, I don't know how much I like that. If that was Alicia in my hand, I definitely would prefer to see that. But I also could have been mistaken. That might not actually be what it is. So here I'm going to go for, it looks like a Green Search and a Field Blower. Oh, okay. So here, I guess I'm just trying to keep this Dedenne stuck active for one more turn here. And prevent Haley from having, you know, maybe some way to knock me out on my next turn. So I guess that's okay. I think I would have preferred to see Alicia come down, if that is actually, in fact, the card that was in my hand. Also, I'm not a big fan of putting down the Buzzwole Pheromosa, but one thing I will point out, guys, a lot of times whenever we play these decks here in this test ground series, these are literally like our first and second times playing them in certain instances. Like, I think I played one game prior to recording this with this deck, so apologies if there are some misplays. We are literally figuring these archetypes out as we are playing them. But here, it looks like Haley's having a little bit of a rough start. She's just going to evolve into Charjabug and Cynthia. So she typically would not want to evolve into Charjabug. That's a card that she wants to save to actually power up her Vikavolt. But she wants to make sure this Grubbin does not get knocked out by Jet Punch on my turn here. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Hopefully she can find another Grubbin. Okay, and she does. And looks like a Jirachi as well. So that's really not too bad. Now, does she have an escape board or a switch or an energy? I actually don't think she does. So this Dedenne might be stuck active yet again here. So just a pass back over to me. So a little bit of a slow start for her. And looks like I'm debating attaching to the benched Buzzwole here. And looks like I'm pretty torn as to what route I want to go. But here I'm going to go for a Green Search apparently. Going to go for a Custom Catcher. And we'll see what else. So here you can see I'm a little bit torn as to what I want to get. That is one issue with Green Search. You have so many options. Of course, it's that new support that we're getting from Unbroken Bonds. Well, actually, I think technically it's been revealed the name is Green's Exploration now. Just in the habit of saying Green Search. So apologies for that for the rest of the video. I'll probably just keep calling it that. But yeah, you get to search your deck for 2 trainer cards if you have no Pokemon with abilities in play. So very, very good in a deck like this Buzzwole Pheromosa deck where you literally play nothing but these Buzzwoles that have no abilities. So here it looks like I'm debating going for a custom catcher and another Green Search, just kind of setting up future turns little by little here. And okay, it looks like I'm gonna go back in the deck if I'm not shuffling up, apparently. And okay, we're gonna go for the custom catcher, and then we're just going to use Buzzwole's GX attack. It's Beast Game GX where grass energy is 50, and if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by the attack, you take an additional prize. So that is going to help me at least. That will make it harder for her to get a Vikavolt into play. And so she is going to get Choice Band down on that Grubbin and just go for a Lily here. So let's see if she can finally set herself up a Vikavolt. She wasn't able to do it last turn. Here she's going to Nest Ball, so probably she's just thinning out Pokemon out of her deck before she uses this Stellar Wish on Jirachi here. So depending on... She does have a Lightning in discard. She could go for a Cocoa Prism if she wants to, or just maybe another Grubbin or another Jirachi. I think really and these targets are probably okay. So here she's going to go for the Jirachi. I don't hate that either. You know, if she does hit an Escape Board off of Stellar Wish, that will at least give her an out to retreating and trying to do Stellar Wish again. Okay, she does actually have Switch in hand, so that could be useful as well. So here we are going to see the Stellar Wish, and I don't believe I see a rare candy. Do you see a skateboard, though? I'm pretty sure that's what that is in her hand. So if that's the case, I do like taking that. She can just retreat into this other Jirachi, try for another Stellar Wish, and she actually has a Switch in hand as well. So on her next turn, if I don't knock out this Jirachi, she will be able to just switch back into the one with the skateboard as well. So she had a little bit of a rocky start, and even still, this turn probably won't be too explosive for her. But I think she's going to be probably in a decent spot going into her next turn, since she has this Volkner in hand for next turn. She has the 2 Jirachis. So she is going to get that Escape Board down. Going to retreat. Let's see what she can get off of this other Stellar Wish. Alright, let's see. Okay, and she does hit the rare candy, so that's actually pretty good. She can go ahead and grab that and maybe just evolve one of those Grubbins to prevent, you know, maybe an unexpected knockout like a... So that seems good. She can grab that. Because I could theoretically go like Guzma Beast Energy, take a knockout on Grubbin. This new one only has 60 HP. So I think I do kind of want to see her evolve into this Vikavolt. Okay, so she is going to go ahead and evolve. Yep, seems good to me. And then from there, probably just going to see a pass. But even still, like I said, her next turn is set up to be a potentially explosive one. And here I'm in a situation where I kind of know that danger is coming, and I really would love to Kukui, but at the same time I really need to kind of set up my hand for the next turn, because I'm really anticipating Haley to be able to take a knockout here. So here you can see I'm very torn. Like, I would love to Kukui. I even wouldn't mind going for the Alicia here. Actually, Alicia could be pretty good because I could get Lusamine Prism Star off of it as well. Here I'm just going to go for the Green Search, so I'm going to go for Surge and then Lusamine Prism Star. So this is kind of unfortunate. I did have to just kind of take a turn off of getting a lot of value out of my supporters and just setting up my next turn. But basically, I'm anticipating this Buzzwole going down, and I just want to set up my hand for next turn if, in fact, it does. So here I am going to Jet Punch. We're going to do 30 to the Jirachi, probably just 30 to the other Jirachi. It seems good, because she's starting to get in a spot where she can just evolve Grubbins pretty easily. And so what I'm doing here is I attach to the active, even though I'm halfway expecting it to go down, just because if she whiffs what she needs, I can actually attach her turn and potentially use Elegant Soul, the second attack on Buzzwole Pheromosa here. So, but If she doesn't whiff and is able to knock me out, then Beast Ring will still set up my other one. So either option here kind of sets up these Buzzwoles to where I can use Elegant Soul in the next turn if need be. So it looks like she's going to be eyeing down a Cynthia here off of the Stellar Wish, and then she's going to retreat into this other Jirachi. I'm sorry, switch into the other Jirachi, and then she can actually Stellar Wish again. So here she's going to Ultra Ball, going to get rid of 2 Volkners, and probably just going to search for a Charjabug. That seems pretty good. So the new Charjabug, haven't even really mentioned it yet up until this point, has an ability. It allows you to attach it to one of your Vikavolts or Vikavolt GXs, and it provides 2 lightning energy as a special energy. And what's really cool about it doesn't actually count as your attachment for turn as well. So you can just go Charjabug, and start swinging for a lot of damage with this Vikavolt. So its attack is 3 lightning and a color rest is 120, but if you discard all energy attached to it, you can do 100 more. So right now she's hitting for 250 thanks to that choice band, so if she can find a Charjabug and another modifier, she can actually get there. And she does find the Charjabug. Does she have an Electro Power? That's going to be the other key card she's going to need here in order to take a knockout on my Buzzwole Pheromosa. And if she does, this is actually where this Buzzwole Pheromosa deck really struggles. It's great against decks that don't one-shot it, but it really struggles against decks that have ways to just take big one-hit knockouts. And she does have the Electro Power as well, so this is a really, really good turn for Haley here. And this is kind of why I went for the green search on my last turn instead of Licia, because I kind of anticipated something like this to happen. So it looks like she is going to be eyeing herself down a Rescue Stretcher. So this is good too for her because after she discards these Charjabugs, she can actually Rescue Stretcher at least one of them back into her hand if she decides to. So setting up her next turn definitely seems good. And since those Charjabugs don't count as her attachment for turn, she's going to start setting up that other Grubbin to potentially be a Vikavolt at some point. Here she's going to Nest Ball, just thinning another Pokemon out of her deck. And then from there, we're just going to see a retreat, no doubt, and then blow up this Pheromosa Buzzwole. And now things are getting a little bit scary for me. But luckily, I at least do have a potentially good turn plan. So I'm going to go ahead and Beast Ring, which is great. I can get this guy set up and take a return KO on this Vikavolt. And I actually have a pretty stacked hand in terms of my supporters. So I have a couple different options of what route I want to go. I'm going to go ahead and use Lieutenant Surge. Allows me, if I'm behind on prizes, I can play up to 3 supporters for a turn, including Surge. So I can play 2 more in addition here. So I can, knock out this Vikavolt here, which definitely would be annoying. For me, I'm kind of also thinking, well, if I knock out this Jirachi, that's her free retreater. I could potentially do that. So just trying to think, what's the best target? I could even Guzma up the Dene and take 2 prizes, but I'm really not too worried about that. I think the target is going to be to maybe... Okay, so I am going to commit to Lusamine. And here I'm going to go for Guzma, okay? I actually think this is probably a bad play playing the Lusamine if I'm going to retreat. Okay. Or, I'm sorry, if I'm going to Guzma, I actually think Lusamine's pretty bad here. So, the reason for that is... Well, I guess maybe not as bad bring up the Jirachi. I was just thinking if I bring up the Charjabug and spread around that, that could be good. And more than likely she can't retreat because she's already used both the skateboards and the only switch in deck. So I guess bring up the Jirachi. Lusamine is good because she can just pay the 1 retreat cost and then just retreat that way. So here I'm just kind of taking my time, spreading around a little bit here. And next turn, I will be able to set up I will be able to take at least 1 prize, even if Haley does move this. Even if she does move this Jirachi out to active. But yeah, I think I messed up going for the Lusamine there, just because if I'm not knocking out Vikavolt, then I kind of need to... basically, if the Vikavolt is still in play, it can potentially take a knockout on me. And if I'm trying to stall here and buy a turn where she's not actually going to be able to attack me, I think I should save the Lusamine for when I take a knockout and play it that turn, to where Vikavolt can't hit me on that turn. But right now I'm kind of anticipating this Jirachi to just be stuck. So here Haley is going to Stretcher, just getting back some Charjabugs into the deck. And also quickly too, just a quick little recap on that Lusamine Prism Star that you guys saw me play. It's a card you don't see too often, but if your opponent has 3 prizes remaining, you prevent all damage done to your Ultra Beast on your opponent's next turn. So definitely good in this deck because your opponent's only ever going to take 3 prizes at a time. So here Haley is going to get down Shrine of Punishment, which is slightly annoying. Even if she does not attack me this turn, she will have ways to get damage counters into play, and the one damage counter on Shrine of Punishment it's going to put down is actually really relevant because just a choice banded Vikavolt will be able to knock me out at that point. She wouldn't even need an additional modifier. So here, really not sure what else she wants to do. Probably just going to see a pass. And here, this is actually a situation where I might be able to kind of claw my way back into this game thanks to the Shrine of Punishment. I can actually potentially use this to knock out Dedenne at some points. That's something I'm kind of thinking about. So here, just a pass back over to my turn and just trying to think of what to do. We do have Kukui in hand. Don't really want to play that. I really don't want to knock out this Jirachi because as soon as I do, this Vikavolt on the bench is just going to come up and just like blow me away. But I do have Guzma. Okay, so if I have Guzma, yeah, and I definitely think it's the play. We're going to bring up this Grubbin here. And Grubbin has a 2 retreat cost. And she's already burned a couple rare candies, so I actually think there's a good odds this Grubbin's going to be stuck. So I can take 1 prize here on that damaged Jirachi. And this Shrine of Punishment is starting to put in a little bit of work, but Dedenne has 160 HP. So if I can ever find like Beast Energy Choice Band, yeah, I think actually this is kind of my win condition from here is to at some point Guzma knock out this Dedenne GX with Jet Punch and knock out the Jirachi at the same time. So I just have to make sure I don't bump this stadium. Let's see what Haley is going to do. She really doesn't have anything to really work with in her hand at this point. So she doesn't have an energy to even threaten the retreat on this Grubbin. So yeah, she can't Guzma. I mean, she could throw down the Charjabug if she wants to. She could even evolve the Grubbin into a Charjabug, but here she's just going to pass back over to me. And here I'm in a spot where I cannot attack this Grubbin. I have to leave it. I'm just going to go ahead and Lecia though, thinning some cards out of my deck. I'm going to go ahead and grab Beast Energy and Life Forest. So of course Lecia lets you search your deck for 2 Prism Stars. Those are the only ones left in deck. Beast Energy is going to be very important at, you know, picking off that Dedenne like I kind of said though. So here, I think I just have to pass yet again. Let's see, right now, Beast Energy would put my damage output up to 60. The Dedenne has 70 on it already. So if I can find Choice Band, that will actually get me where I need to go. And Haley's hand just pretty dead yet again. She does have the Nest Ball, so we could see like a Cocoa Prism come down and maybe get some extra energy into play. I think that's an option for her. But let's see. I don't know what she's thinking about. She really can't do too much here. And just a pass. So I'm in a spot where, yeah, next turn, after Haley's next turn, we can actually pull off the play I'm talking about because Denny's going to go up to 90 damage after this Shrine. The Beast Energy is going to be able to do bring Jet Punch up to 60, which means that last Shrine tick is going to knock out this Dedenne here. So let's see, Haley did draw Thunder Mountain. That's actually pretty problematic, I have to say, though, because I'm literally 1 turn away from game as long as this Shrine stays in play. And she does bump the shrine, which is terrible for me. And I'm pretty sure I do remember misplaying after her turn here. So basically I'm in a spot where I can go ahead and Guzma if I want to. And bring up the Dedenne and just say, hey, unless you have a lightning energy, you're just going to lose. But here I'm going to go for Kukui instead. And I'm going to go ahead and Beast Ring. So just trying to thin some cards out of my deck. I'm pretty sure I have both Choice Bands in play right now. Or in my deck, I'm not in play, I'm sorry, but still left in my deck. So I have okay odds of hitting them, I guess, but I think what I should have done this turn is Guzma up the Dedenne and then just say, hey, you need a lightning energy. If you don't have it, then you know what, my Jet Punch is just going to finish knocking you out here. But I mean, I guess from my perspective, I could also say, like I might not, if Haley does, if she's had a lightning energy this whole time and she just didn't want to commit the energy to this 2 retreat Grubbin, I could just immediately lose that way. So I'm just really afraid of her having that lightning energy. So the plan that I've kind of been waiting for is for her to go ahead and commit a lightning to Grubbin to threaten the retreat, and then from there Guzma up the Dedenne and force her to need an additional lightning from there to get where she needs to go. But the issue is I'm letting her have a bunch of different top decks and ways to potentially find what she needs, which is something I need to be very, very careful about here. So here I'm going to go for a net ball, just thinning another card out of the deck just to get me closer to a choice band here. And from there, just going to have to pass. And she hits a rare candy. Does she have... Okay, she does have an Ultra Ball, so actually I might be in trouble at this point. So she's going to Ultra Ball. She can find herself another Vikavolt here. Oh, okay. Oh, she does have Stretcher in hand, so that's fine. And I think I just lose here if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think I see it in her hand what she has. So she can just Stretcher. She can get back a Vikavolt rare candy. She has 2 Charjabugs in hand, and I believe at least 1 Electropower. And okay, she has 2 Electropower. So unfortunately, Vikavolt is going to blow me up there. Just enough to take a knockout. So like I said, maybe I should have just Guzma'd up the Dedenne a turn or so earlier, but like I said, I was kind of thinking maybe she has a lightning because she had a huge hand and she just didn't want to commit the energy. That's kind of what I was thinking there. And oh, she did prize Coco and 2 lightning, so yeah, looks like I would have been safe to just bring up the Dedenne, go for Jet Punch, and then she literally wouldn't have had a way to get out of the active. So but whatever, hindsight's 20/20, I suppose. And like I said too, guys, this is our first times really playing these decks, so I apologize for any suboptimal plays I might be having here in this series. But anyways, this is going to be a best 2 out of 3 series. Definitely have a chance to bring it back. And so we'll have to see how this one is going to unfold. So here I am going to start Buzzwole, of course. Haley has yet again another bad starter. Has the Tapu Koko Prism Star. Here I'm just going to go for a Net Ball. And I'm going to Licia while I am in the deck as well, it appears. So that's definitely a good Pokemon, or not Pokemon, but a good supporter to be able to play on the first turn here. Going to go ahead and preemptively grab that Lusamine Prism Star and also this Beast Energy Prism Star. Definitely going to be an important card here. So let's see, just taking a peek through my deck, seeing what we have access to. And beyond that, probably just going to see an attachment and call it a day from there, I believe. So going to go ahead and get down the Grass Energy for now, and then just pass on over to Haley. So her hand doesn't look too exciting from what I could tell, but she does have this Volkner, which can grab her a Nest Ball. So at the very least, she can get down one of her Grubbins. Okay, so she is going to search that out. Looks like she's just taking a peek through deck, and she actually might be considering going for Jirachi here, because she did kind of stop when hovering over that. She could be thinking, well, if I retreat into Jirachi, I can at least I can maybe grab an Ultra Ball or another Nest Ball off of the Jirachi. Again, this is what she's going to do. And doing this gives her a way to set up her hand for next turn. So I don't think she has a draw supporter in hand, so if she went for the Grubbin, she wouldn't really have anything beyond that. So at least by getting this Jirachi into play, she can potentially still find an out to a Grubbin this turn, while also still having this Jirachi in play to find a supporter for next turn. Okay, so here she is going to go ahead and she's going to use Stellar Wish, and I think she does. I think the last card there is a Nest Ball, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, so she can definitely do that. Even though she doesn't have support for next turn, she can still find one on her next turn with this Jirachi. But definitely like getting down this Grubbin. She wants to get that thing down ASAP here and start setting up those Vikavolts. So not the greatest turn one from her, but nevertheless she still found a way to get Grubbin. She found a way to get her Jirachi going too. And looks like she has Shrine of Punishment in her hand. She could consider putting that down as well. But she did see that I got Life Force, so I definitely think it's good to hang on to it. Here I'm going to go for Pokegear. And we do fail. That is slightly annoying. So here I'm definitely looking for Guzma. That's the big thing I really want, because I have Beast Energy in hand. I can bring up this Grubbin and then just knock it out if I can find it. And we don't find Guzma, but we do find Green Search, and this is like basically just as good. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go for Green Search and get 2 custom catchers. So you know, it kind of hurts using a Green Search just for both of these when a Guzma would have done the same trick, but nevertheless, we're still going to be able to get there. We can get that Beast Energy Prism Star down and Jet Punch knocking out the Grubbin and then doing 30 to Jirachi. So that's actually really annoying for Hale, because you can see she does have the Rare Candy Vikavolt in hand ready to go too. But she is going to use Stellar Wish. Let's see what she can manage to find off of this Stellar Wish. Okay, so she does have a Cynthia there. Looks like that is what she's going to opt for. And she's probably thinking, what do I want to do? Do I want to get down this shrine? Do I want to attach energy anywhere? But here she's just going to go for the Cynthia. So let's see, she's definitely going to want 2 Grubbins. Since I have this Beast Energy, I'm threatening a knockout. You know, with Buzzwole Pheromosa now. She needs to find 2. That way, if one gets knocked out, she will have another one ready to go for a follow-up. So let's see what she gets here. Okay, we do see a Stretcher, do see an Ultra Ball as well. Okay, so she is going to get down at least 1 Grubbin. And she does have Ultra Ball. Does she want to play it? Okay, she is going to get down this Lightning Energy at the least. That tells me she's probably not going to play the Ultra Ball. And here it looks like she might be a little bit conflicted as to what route she wants to go. Yeah, I think I would have preferred seeing her Ultra Ball away this Lightning Energy and like the Guzma or the Volkner, because she could just get out the Lightning Energy with Tapu Koko as well. So yeah, I definitely would have rather have seen that. I think that's a little bit risky, just leaving the Grubbin like that there. So here I am going to get down my second BuzzMosa. I do have Aether Paradise in hand. Unfortunately, not a very good card at this point, just because it is going to reduce damage that the Grubbin will take as well. So I want to kind of leave myself open to the option to picking this thing off with a Jet Punch if I need to. Like if she ends up retreating it somehow. Oh, but here we were talking, I do remember, we were like, should I use Jet Punch or should we use Beast Game GX? Because if I go ahead and use Beast Game, I can get an extra prize. And the 30 damage isn't super impactful just because a Jet Punch with this Beast Energy knocks out either way. And I do remember we actually do still fix this. I think I remember, like, after a minute into her turn, we were talking, we're like, no, what, Beast Game still is the play because I said Grubbin gets knocked out either way by a Jet Punch here. So that will change at some point during this turn. I will give you guys a heads up on that. Here she's just going to go ahead and Ultra Ball. She's going to go for a Rare Candy, it appears, and a Lightning Energy. Okay, no, she's playing the Volkner. My mistake, guys. And okay, and she's gonna Ultra Ball for the Dene GX. Okay, and here we did talk about the Beast Game GX. So, okay, we fixed that. Continuing on with Haley's turn. So she is going to be able to rare candy into a Vikavolt and use this new Dedenne GX to draw some more cards. So if you guys aren't familiar with Dedenne, it's a new basic Pokemon. Whenever you bench it from your hand, you can discard your hand and draw 6. So kind of like the old Shaman EX a little bit. But you can only use one of these abilities per turn. Something important to point out. So let's see, does she get what she needs? She needs a Charjabug and 2 different damage modifiers. So let's see, she does have... she does not have the Charjabug, which is unfortunate. She found everything else she needed. Yeah, that is gonna be rough for Haley there. So we might have to just see her hard to retreat this Vikavolt to try to save it for a turn. And then just maybe pass after that. So she is going to use Rescue Stretcher. I do like this. So yeah, she can hard retreat into this Jirachi and then just Stellar Wish for the turn. But she's at kind of a weird spot where I'm already at 3 prizes and she hasn't taken her first knockout. So she might just be like 1 turn, like too far behind at this point. Here she's going to get down Shrine of Punishment. So she's going to start getting down some damage on these tag teams that I have. And, okay, so off her 5 cards, she could go for a Lily or a Volkner. Can't really tell if she has... Well, she has a Cynthia in hand, so I might go for Volkner if that's the case. Okay, but she's going to go for Electro Power. Okay. So, I guess that's okay as well here. Well, I guess the reason is, you know, I have Life Forest, so she might be thinking Eric's going to put down Life Forest, healing off the Shrine damage. Then I still need 2 damage modifiers after that comes down. So that's still fine. She has Cynthia in her hand for next turn anyway, so I think she'll be okay here. And after that, probably just going to see a pass from Haley, I would imagine. Okay, but she is thinking about burning the Coco. I do like this. Dedenne's GX attack actually isn't half bad here as well. It's like 50 for 2. Then your opponent's active is paralyzed, and you return Dedenne GX to hand. So she's probably thinking Dedenne's a big liability at this point in the game. I might need to use that GX attack at some point. Here I'm going to go for a Pokegear, and I do find Guzma, which is pretty big, because I can Guzma up this Vikavolt, just take a knockout, or actually, I could just bring up the Dedenne GX even. That doesn't seem terrible, because at that point, all I need is 1 knockout, and I can just win from there. So here, it looks like I'm going for... Looks like I'm going for a Green Search. That seems pretty bad. Yeah, okay, I do remember this. After I already like searched my deck, we probably should have reversed this just because I did have a Guzma in those top 7 for Pokegear. I'm pretty sure I did at least. But yeah, I definitely should have just... Oh, now I do remember here because I wouldn't have been able to... I would have been forced to retreat into that other Buzzwole. And... Oh, do I not have Life Forest? I thought I... Oh, no, that's right. At least he had for Lusamine at the beginning of the game, not Life Force, so... But anyways, here I used the double custom catcher to bring up the Dedenne. But yeah, like I said, I couldn't Guzma just because that bench Buzzwole wouldn't have been able to get out of the active spot. So had to go for the double custom catcher play here. And now, even if Haley does take a knockout and hops back into this game, I can just B-string onto this bench Buzzwole here, and we can just take our final knockout with Elegant Soul. So she's just going to go for a Cynthia. Like I said, I really wouldn't be surprised if she does pull off the knockout here, but taking out the Dedenne just kind of, I think, sealed up the game at this point. So let's see if she's going to get off these 6 cards. I don't know if she has a way to kind of combat what I'm threatening here at this point. So she does have another Charjabug, does have Ultra Ball. Gonna get rid of a Guzma and an Ultra Ball, so probably just trying to find herself a Charjabug. So let's see, she is gonna go for that. And right now she's doing, was at 280. Let's see, I'm at 250. Okay, yeah, the shrine damage that got in play literally was exactly enough to set up this knockout for her. But as I kind of mentioned too, even if she takes the knockout, I can just beast ring, take my final knockout, and win this game too. Because I'm pretty sure I do have the beast ring in hand. And I do, so just going to go ahead and beast ring. So going to do that, and we're just going to play the Lusamine for some insult to injury there too. So you see BuzzMosa took a pretty convincing game 2 here. Here we had a little bit of a rough start there. I mean, she did kind of get going. I think it was like turn 3, but at that point I had already taken just too many prizes for her to come back from. So here I am going to mulligan, it appears, which is definitely not fun, but it's something that does happen with this deck. You only play 4 basic Pokemon, so mulligans really aren't that uncommon. It's just unfortunate to take them when Haley is the one going first. And we see Dedenne GX in her hand, so she was fortunate enough not to start that one this time. And another mulligan, so this is just a general feels bad so far. And this list doesn't play any hand disruption either, so I'm not even going to have a way to kind of reset this massive hand that she's going to have. And we're up to a third mulligan. So yeah, there's no way Haley doesn't have a good turn 1 after all of these mulligans that we're going to be doing here. And yet again, we have a 4th mulligan up at this point. So hopefully this time we can actually find one. We have another mulligan. And I think at this point, yeah, Haley's like, I'm just not going to take anymore, just because we didn't want like super skewed, I guess, results from this game. But even getting those 4 cards plus her draw for turn, she's going to be in a good spot. And I do finally find a Buzzwole here. And Haley is going to be able to go first. So let's see what she's going to be able to make happen. And honestly, the cards she drew off of her mulligans really weren't even that impactful. So she does have an Ultra Ball. She's going to get rid of a Lily. And I think I want to see her get rid of this lightning energy. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to see her ditch. But here she's just going to get rid of the Lily and Volkner. I'm not sure if I like that too much. I definitely would have preferred seeing energy hit the discard pile. That way she can get out with Coco. But I guess at the same time she might be thinking, well, I don't know if Coco is prized or not, so I don't know if I want to ditch the lightning. But honestly, this deck is more reliant on Charjabugs than lightning energies anyway, so I definitely think that would have been a better discard for there. Okay, she does have another... Oh no, that's the lightning she didn't get rid of, my bad. But here, yeah, she's going to Cynthia as well, so I really don't like this. She's ditched 3 supporters on her turn 1 already. That's like a third of her non-Guzma supporters already, just on the first play of the game. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite her. Hopefully she isn't stuck with like any dead hands or anything, but let's see what else she can manage to find on her turn here. So another Grubbin, another... She can find Jirachi, that would be good as well. So let's see. She does have the Nest Ball. Probably just going to see a Jirachi come down. That's what I would expect. So that seems pretty good. She definitely needs to find a way to get this Jirachi into the active, though, and start using Stellar Wish. I'm not sure if she has a switch or anything like that, but definitely would like to see that if she has access to it. And here, just a pass, okay? So here I'm going to go for a Pokegear. And we're going to take the green search there, okay? Would have loved for it to be a Licia. That way I could have just knocked out a Grubbin right away. But here, going to go for green search. Just trying to think, what do we actually get here? Looks like I'm going to be going for a Licia. Maybe for the following turn, okay? And maybe like a custom catcher to just like kind of sit on for whenever I finally draw into the other one. That could be okay. Maybe even a netball to make sure I don't get benched out. So you're just taking peeks, seeing what Haley's played thus far. Could even just preemptively grab a Lieutenant Surge as well, knowing that I'll probably need that at some point too. So, okay, it looks like I am going to go for the custom catcher. I like this. I don't need it right now, but this is one less custom catcher I have to search out later if I ever do want to get one. And then from here, I can just attach and use Jet Punch to start softening up some of Haley's Pokemon. So the big question is, where do I put this damage? Because if I put it on the Grubbins, it threatens like a double knockout, but at the same time, you know, if Haley even has a Charjabug, it kind of like breaks that, whole strategy. So maybe getting it down Jirachi would have been a little bit better, but this does at least put her on a bit of a clock to, you know, find what she needs. So here she's just going to evolve into Charjabug. Just going to attach to the active. And we might just see her use the first attack on Grubbin here. So Grubbin hasn't really come up too much so far in this series, but it allows you to search your deck for 2 lightning Pokemon, put them into your hand. So it's actually not too bad. She can grab herself a Vikavolt and another Charjabug. I actually think that wouldn't be too bad here. Or even like a Vikavolt and a Dedenne GX potentially to bail her out of her dead hand. But if she knows that this Grubbin's going to go down, I think maybe going for the Charjabug would be a bit better, just because she's going to have access to Jirachi. But that does also put a lot of pressure on the Jirachi to find a draw supporter and an escape board and stuff like that. So here she's just going to favor the Dedenne GX and just have like the guaranteed draw on the next turn. So here I just top deck a Grass Energy. And here I do have Green Search, so I can take out this Charjabug if I do choose to. I could go for like a Beast Game GX on this thing just right away and try to knock that thing out. So just trying to decide what route I want to go, but here I'm going to go for the Green Search. Can go for a custom catcher. I'm going to go for a Net Ball though, looks like, just in case of Vikavolt coming down and laying the smackdown on my current Buzzwole. But here I'm just going to go for a Green Search and a Net Ball. Here I'm going to play the Net Ball, just get another Buzzwole Pheromosa right away. So maybe I should have gone for the custom catcher and just knocked out this Charjabug. I mean, I know Haley has the Vikavolt. I know she doesn't have the rare candy, just because she mainly evolved into the Charjabug. So I don't know, I guess between the Jirachi and the Dedenne GX, she probably could find what she needs, so that's actually probably not unreasonable there to just kind of forgo the Beast Game GX in this situation. And here I kind of want to I think I should just Jet Punch, probably take a knockout and put 30 on this Jirachi, and maybe threaten like a Beast Game GX on it at some point as well. So here Haley is going to thrust this Jirachi forward, and she top decks a skateboard. That is pretty darn good if I do say so. And she's going to just evolve into this Vikavolt here. See an Electric Power and a Dedenne GX. That's going to allow her to discard her hand, get 6 cards, and she still hasn't even played a supporter yet or used Stellar Wish. So this is probably going to be a pretty good turn for her if I just had to assume. Unfortunately, that hand is pretty bad, though. No Charjabugs or anything like that. So she's going to go for this Jirachi. Look at the top 5 cards of her deck here. And she does find Cynthia, so that's definitely good. And she does have an Ultra Ball, so if she can actually just take a knockout without a draw supporter, I think that's fine here, because she's going to get 3 prizes anyways. So probably see her get rid of a Guzma, I would imagine. Yeah, maybe get rid of like a Guzma and another Electro Power. I could see that, because then she still has Shrine and 1 other Electro Power remaining too. And here she's debating getting on or discarding the Shrine. I kind of want to see her save that and get rid of an Electro Power instead. But okay, she's gonna just get rid of that. That's okay. Either way, she is still, even if she like discarded the Electric Power and kept the Shrine, both are a damage modifier that she needs to get Buzzwole in range of being knocked out. So it might not be too impactful, but I like Shrine just because she can set up some math on a future Buzzwole potentially as well. But also, she could be just a little bit paranoid, too, of how our first game went. She's like, man, I almost lost due to my own shrine. I ain't putting that thing in play this game. But here she's going to go and activate Tapu Koko. And she is going to just burn all of that energy, take a knockout on my Buzzwole here. And, okay. Yeah, I remember this turn, I was like, really struggling to figure out what route I wanted to go with this hand. Because I have Surge, I have Lusamine, Prism Star, have Green Search. So I am going to Surge, like, for sure this turn, though. And just trying to think. Like, do I want to just go all in and knock out this active Vikavolt? Or do I want to, like, Guzma and take some knockouts elsewhere? Or, you know, what do I really want here? So, like, one play I don't completely hate is, like, maybe going for custom catchers or Guzmas and bringing up this Grubbin and trying to snipe around it. But also, at the same time, Haley hasn't played any switches yet, so she does have her one switch that is in the deck. She could also potentially go for another skateboard, and just a single attachment would get the Grubbin out of the active, and she... So it's hard to say, but it looks like I am thinking about going for the Lusamine this turn. Here you can see I'm just super conflicted about what route I want to go. Ideally, I would like to strand something, not get knocked out, and then use Lusamine Prism Star on my next turn. That's kind of what I really want, and I'm just not sure if the odds are in my favor. That's what's kind of like tripping me up about what supporter I want to play here. Because I'm thinking, well, if I know that Haley won't get a return KO on my next turn, I can... You know, I can safely play different supporters this turn and save that Lusamine for my next turn. So in hindsight, I think what I really wish I would have went for is like a... I'm not sure if I have Lisi in hand, but I think what I wanted to do this turn is bring up this Jirachi, use Beast Energy to take a knockout on it, and then from there just hope Haley doesn't have what she needs, and next turn I am able to Lusamine from there at that point. Here it looks like I am playing the Green Search. Let's see what I'm going to get. Looks like I'm going for Beast Ring. And now it looks like I'm going for Custom Catcher. So a lot of different options here. Like I said, it's kind of like the Sylveon GX deck in the sense that you have like so many different like combinations of cards you can get. Picking the exact right two that you're going to need is a lot of times really stressful and a little bit overwhelming in terms of the just sheer amount of options that you have here. So I do believe I changed one of these to a Field Blower though, if I remember correctly. So let's see. I'm pretty sure this was the game. We did record like multiple games, and I think one of them, yeah, one of our games did get lost. Okay, but I am going to go for the Field Blower. Okay, so this is the game I am thinking of. So here I'm going to double Custom Catcher, and we're going to bring up the Grubbin. So, and now I'm going to try to like snipe around this thing. And so if I'm going for like the stall play, I think I just don't even Lusamine. Like I think I really wish I would have like kept that for my following turn, because she's probably going to be stuck one turn, and then by her next turn she'll be able to figure out how to move back into the active spot with a Vikavolt, and then that's the turn I need the Lusamine for. So honestly, I think I got just a little bit too scared of the options she might potentially have, and I think I burned the Lusamine too early. I think that's where I kind of went wrong in this game. So let's see, she is going to go for a Nest Ball here. So let's see what she's going to get. Probably just another Grubbin if I had to guess. Okay, that seems good. And let's see what else does she have in her hand. She did take 3 prizes on her last turn, so we'll have to see what she has in there now. Oh, she does have Volkner, which is pretty bad. So she actually can just like Volkner for the switch, which feels pretty terrible, I do have to admit. And here she is going to go for the Volkner. So she even could just like rare candy even. That wouldn't be terrible. Into the... make sure the Scrubbin turns into the Vikavolt in her hand. But also another thing she could do, she could just use... Yeah, and here she's going to do. She's just going to use Grubbin's first attack here. And here you can see I got a little bit too... maybe not greedy, but just like... I just Lusamine too early. This is the turn that I needed to use Lusamine. If I was going for the stall strategy, this is the turn I should have used the Lusamine on. So at this point, I think Haley just has like too many like potential Vikavolts for me to win the game here. I think one of my only win conditions is Beast Game GX, but even still, I'm at 5 prizes. I would need 1 Jet Punch knockout and then 1 Beast Game knockout. So here I'm going to go for a green search, and I believe I was going to go for double custom catcher here, if I remember correctly, but I think I prized my 4th one. I think that's what it is, if I remember correctly. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go for another custom catcher here. We're going to bring up this other Grubbin, knock out the Grubbin that has 30 on it, and then we're just going to try to get to a point where we can take a big one-hit knockout on Jirachi with Beast Game GX to just win the whole game. I think that was my plan, if I remember correctly. So let's see what I got here. I'm going to get an Aether Paradise, and I do think I need to change that. I think we realized this after the fact, because Aether Paradise actually would stop my damage to Grubbin, so that is just a general feels bad. So I need to figure out something else to get here. Yeah, maybe just the other custom catcher. B-String also would be okay. Thin some cards out of my deck. Looks like I'm going to go for the Guzma. Or changing my mind to custom catcher. I guess maybe just in case I hit one off the prizes, potentially. So, let's see what I'm going to do here. So here we're just going to take the knockout, the double knockout on Jirachi and the Grubbin here. And it's unfortunate where like I had to take the knockout on the active just because I know she had rare candy and a Vikavolt in hand. So even if I tried to go for like the stall strategy like I went for in game 1, it wouldn't have even worked in this case. So here she's probably thinking, can I get where I need to with this hand? She does have an Electro Power in hand. So let's see. I don't think she has what she needs just yet. She's going to rely on probably a support to get her where she needs to be. And does she just top deck Cynthia? She just top deck Cynthia. That's another feels bad for old BuzzMosa here. So she can attach to the bench. And she's going to get down Charjabug. I actually think I would have rather have seen the Lightning come down on the active, just because now, even if she whiffs the Charjabug, if she draws a Thunder Mountain, that would also allow her to still attack. And she does have the double Electro Power too, so I really need her to whiff hard off of this Cynthia. I really, really do. Yeah, so she's going to go ahead and play both. So let's see what she can find here. She just needs a Charjabug or like an Ultra Ball or some way to get a Charjabug. Even like a Rescue Stretcher would do it. She has so many outs here. I feel like there's very little chance she whiffs, but she might. We'll have to see. And yeah, she finds Rescue Stretchers. And yeah, she definitely has at least one in there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. So she can just attach to the active, and thanks to the 2 Electro Powers, Vikavolt can hit for 280, one-shotting my poor, Buzzwole Pheromosa. So, yep, that feels bad for my deck there. Like I said, I think I got a little too, anxious using the Lusamine. I should have saved it for my following turn. Even still, I don't think my hand was that great, so maybe I still would have lost either way. Not sure. But either way, guys, I hope you did enjoy this look at these Unbroken Bonds decks. Deck profiles will be posted for both of them in the coming days, but definitely stay tuned. We'll have plenty of Unbroken Bonds coverage coming up over the next several weeks. But if you did enjoy this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and if you can, consider supporting this channel by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or by picking up some merch from our online store, rarecandytcg.com, like the playmats you saw in this video as an example. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.